Thank you for coming to the Financial Aid FAFSA CATA 2020-2021 presentation. My name is Christina Struther. I am the counselor with Cottonwood, but also covering Feather River, Lakeview, and Clarksville. So the objectives for this presentation is to recognize the importance of completing the FAFSA and CATA, understand the steps to complete the applications, understand the types of financial aid that are available, and completing them before the deadline. What is financial aid? So there's several types of financial aid. There's grants, work study, scholarships, state aid, institutional aid, and there's also loans. Loans are the only ones that need to be repaid back with interest, as well as some grants or institutional aids if certain criteria is not met. Most of the time, grants, work study, student aid, institutional aid, and scholarships do not need to be repaid back. But if a student got a grant or a scholarship, let's go with the scholarship for participating in an athletic, and they decide if they don't no longer want to do it, then they cannot continue with that scholarship and will need to repay that money back. But other than that, loans are the only ones that normally need to be repaid. Most students fulfill their part by keeping, being able to use scholarship money, institutional aid, grants, and so forth. What is the FAFSA and the CATA? The FAFSA is the free application for federal student aid. It allows students to apply for financial aid for college, and the applicants may be awarded student aid in the form of grants, work study, and loans. The CATA is the California DREAM Act application. It allows undocumented and non-resident students who meet the eligibility requirements for a non-resident exemption, also known as AB 540, to receive financial aid. Applicants may be awarded student aid in the form of private scholarships, state-administered financial aid, fee waivers, university grants, and Cal grants. Why apply for financial aid? Why should I apply for financial aid? The application is free, easy, and it's fast. You should complete the FAFSA or CATA even if you don't think you qualify for financial aid. Students are eligible for Cal grants, which is free money if they simply fill out the application for FAFSA or CATA. And I always encourage students to go ahead and complete them, even if they think that they're going to take a year off and work, just in case in July they decide, no, you know what, I think I'm ready to go to one of the community colleges. They've already completed the financial aid and have that money available to them. If they choose not to, then that's fine. They just completed the financial aid and that money won't go anywhere because they're not going to use it since they're not going to register with the school. The FAFSA versus CATA, which application do I use? So if you're a US citizen or permanent resident, eligible non-citizen, you have a social security number, a T visa holder, and you're gonna attend a college in the United States, then the FAFSA is the way that you go. You apply for that. If you are an undocumented student with no social security number, valid or expired DACA U visa holder, temporary protected status, and you've attended a high school in California for 3 or more years, and you're going to attend a California college, then the California DREAM Act application is what you need to apply for. The FAFSA process. There are several ways to apply. You can apply via your mobile phone, you can apply via your desktop or laptop, or on your tablet. And the My Student Aid mobile app provides what you see here on the right-hand side. Your FSA ID, it's your Federal Student Aid Identification Number. It's used to access FAFSA online and to electronically sign the application. You have to go in and create it through the FAFSA website. And a reminder is you need to use your personal email and check it often. Don't use your work or school email to complete your FSA ID. Use a password that does not contain special characters, and the parent and student both must have their own FSA ID. You cannot share the same FSA ID. So tip number 1, keep a notebook with your username, password, and security questions. You will need it every year you fill out your FAFSA or your CADA. There are 7 sections to the FAFSA application. The first is your student information. The second is your school selection. Third is your dependency status, your parent information, your parent financial information, your student financial information, and then you need to sign and submit. So here on the right, you will see, are you a U.S. citizen, yes or no? And this is your basic student information. A student can choose up to 10 schools, 10 colleges to receive their information. At least one of them needs to be a California school to get a Cal Grant Award. You can add additional schools 1 week after submitting the FAFSA. So if some students have about 15 to 20 different schools they'd like to apply to, they can do that after 1 week of completing that FAFSA. And each student should use the official college name when applying. Dependency status versus independent status. If you live with your parent or guardian or you're single, then you have to go with dependent. If you are a foster youth, anytime after the age of 13, if you're an emancipated minor, if you have a child of your own that you provide more than 50% financial support, if you're homeless, unaccompanied, and a youth under 24, which is determined by the school's homeless liaison, or you're 24 years and older, then you can file as an independent student and you don't need your parents or your guardian's financial information. But most of our students are going to be dependent. Who's my parent when I fill out my FAFSA? So if your parents are married, this is a great diagram that you can screenshot. If your parents are married, then yes, you follow that and both parents' information has to be put down on your FAFSA application. If the answer is no, do your parents live together? And the answer to that is yes. So they're not married, but they do live together. Then both parents need to put their information on the FAFSA. If your parents are not married, they do not live together, so then you live with one more than the other, then that parent, whoever you live with more, has to put their information. And if that parent has remarried, then that step parent's information also needs to be put down. If you don't live with one parent more than the other, then you report information on the FAFSA for the parent who provided more financial support over the past 12 months or in the last year you received support. So it's a great diagram. Your IRS data retrieval tool. The data retrieval tool imports federal tax into your FAFSA application. You must have a valid social security number and your own email address. Victims of identity theft or parents who are filing separately or head of household, you're not eligible to use the IRS data retrieval tool. This is another diagram you'd want to do a screenshot of. Tip number 2, save your FAFSA or CADA information often. Once completed, make sure to review thoroughly before submitting. So make sure to use that save button so you can maintain that information that you've already put down, just in case there's a power outage or you can't complete it. Just constantly push the save. Common FAFSA mistakes is that a student is listing a person as a parent that has not legally adopted the student, such as your widowed step-parent, grandparents, foster parent, or older sibling, that a student lists only one college to receive the data, not providing net worth assets as of the date of the FAFSA. They're including their primary residence or retirement in assets, listing a business as an asset if it has 99 employees or less, or listing the correct amount of family members in the household. So if you have a grandparent that lives with you and your parents provide more than 50% of their financial support, they can be put down as members of the household. Tip number 3, search for scholarships using the internet and contact the colleges that the student is interested in attending. There's definitely scholarships available at each college, so that's a great tip to abide by. So FastWeb, Sally Mae, and Niche are all different places to go, and it's not, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do, oh yeah, I am, okay. So FastWeb, you can go here, you can go to Sally Mae scholarships, or you can go to Niche. Oops, let me see if that'll go down. Oh, okay, sorry, that did not work out. Okay. Cal Grants. Cal Grant Commission Program. A Cal Grant is money for college you do not have to pay back. So qualified students must apply for the FAFSA or CADA by the deadline and meet eligibility requirements. Cal Grants A, B, and C are the different options available, plus there's a middle class scholarship, a California Chafee grant, there's a law enforcement dependent grants, the California Military Dependent GI Bill Award Program, and the Golden State Teacher Grant Program. So your basic eligibility requirements for Cal Grants is that you submit your FAFSA or CADA by March 2nd, and your GPA is verified by then. We've already done our school's upload of our student GPAs into the system, so they have all that information. You also need to be a US citizen or eligible non-citizen or meet AB 540. Be a California resident for at least 1 year, attend a California college, not have a bachelor or professional's degree, which I don't think most of our high school students will, have financial need. So the basics of Cal Grant A, B, and C is that your minimum GPA for Cal Grant A is a 3.0. You're pursuing a 4-year degree, and it covers up to 4 years of tuition and fees at a California university. For community college students, it will go on reserve until the student transfers to a 4-year college. So the maximum amounts are listed here, as you can see. Cal Grant B, the minimum GPA is a 2.0. You're pursuing a 2-year certificate or 4-year degree, and it covers up to 4 years. And here are the awards as well. For a CSU, $5,742, which is also for Cal Grant A, plus you get an additional $1,656. The UC is $12,570. For private nonprofits, $9,084. For profits, $4,000. For Cal Grant C, you do not need a GPA. There's no GPA requirements. And you can get up to $1,094 for books, tools, and equipment, and up to $2,462 for tuition and fees for schools outside of the California Community College Network for a maximum of 2 years. Income guidelines for Cal Grants. So a family size of 6 or more for a Cal Grant A and C, it's $127,700. Okay, I apologize, my brain is not working. And for Cal Grant B, it's $70,100. For family sizes of 2, $99,200, or Cal Grant B, $46,300. Middle class scholarship. You're enrolled at a CSU or UC, enrolled in at least half-time. There is no GPA requirement, and it's for families that make up to $184,000 annually, and it's awarded for up to 4 years. The Chafee Grant. If you are or were in foster care for at least 1 day between the ages of 16 and 18, then you could qualify for an additional grant up to $5,000 for career and technical training or college. The Chafee Grant can be used towards childcare, transportation, or rent at a California college or university, career technical school, or schools in other states. You have to visit CSAC to learn more about the Chafee Grant. The Law Enforcement Dependents Grant provides need-based educational grants to dependents and spouses of California peace officers, which are Highway Patrol, marshals, sheriffs, police officers, Department of Corrections, and California Youth Authority employees, and permanent full-time firefighters employed by public entities who lost their lives in the line of duty or 100% disabled as a result of an accident or injury caused by external violence or physical force incurred in the performance of duty. The grant awards match the amount of a Cal Grant Award and range from $100 to $12,192 for up to 4 years. The California Department GI Bill Award Program. The minimum GPA is a 2.0. You need to be a California resident attending a California college enrolled in 3 units or more per term. And the amount for a California community college is $1,656 per academic year. For a CSU, the maximum award per year is $5,742. For a UC, the maximum award is $12,570. The Golden State Teacher Grant Program is a new program. It encourages students to consider earning a teaching credential and teach in a high-need field at a priority school in California for 4 years, within 5 years after completing a teacher preparation program. CSAC will award $20,000 Golden State teacher grants to over 4,400 eligible students across California that are enrolled in the Commission on Teacher Credentials approved teacher preparation program on or after January 1st, 2020. Applicants must agree to all terms and conditions in order to get the GSTG program. Cash for college. The CSAC offers free financial aid workshops throughout California. Students and families can attend the Cash for College workshops for help completing the FAFSA, the CATA, or the Chafee grant for foster youth. And these are the dates. You can actually go on the CSAC website and look up when the dates are for this year. And this is what they have listed for the next 9 weeks starting tomorrow, October 1st. So at Natomas High School, Highlands, you do need to register, so be sure to register, and there's volunteers, so everything is done virtually. You are not going to a school site to do this. It's all done online. So cashforcollege.org, if you can see it down at the bottom right, is where you need to go. The California Promise. The California Promise provides 2 years of free tuition into a California community college. You must apply for FAFSA or CATA to be eligible for the California Promise. The goal is to get more young adults to graduate from a California community college in 2 years and into either a 4-year college or into the workforce. A student is eligible as long as they register for 12 units or more and maintains passing grades in all 12 units or more. So if a student is registered for 12 units and decided to drop a course, then they will no longer be eligible for the California Promise. You must stay at 12 units or more to be eligible. You want to beat the deadline, which is March 2nd. You can start filing for financial aid starting October 1st of each year. Financial aid applications are due on March 2nd of each year, but you do not want to wait until March 2nd to get it done. The earlier you file, the more grant money you are likely to receive. And here's several resources that are available. I'm actually going to click on some of them. So here's some information for undocumented students, FAFSA versus the California DREAM Act. This is the FAFSA website. The California DREAM Act website. And the California State Aid Commission website. So csac.ca.gov. And again, that's where you can go to find out information about the Cash for College programs. There's also the californiacolleges.edu website. where you can fill in information, do tutorials and so forth, not tutorials, assessments. There's the Woodland Community College CADA tutorial that has videos to show you step-by-step on what to do. And again, the Cash for College, which is also through CSAC and the Chafee grant. And I hope this presentation was helpful for you this evening and that you got what you needed from it. You are welcome to come back and replay